Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Per Aspera. So I've got a save here. When we click in, we'll be right at the moment of the kill switch engaging. We're going to make the other choice, and then after that, after we see what happens, we are probably going to have to talk a little bit about what's going on here and like the way that this works, or maybe doesn't, within the narrative. But yeah, first I'm curious whether you actually do get shut down or whether you are saved somehow at the last moment, despite there being no indication that you should be. Alright, so initiating the kill switch, we know this stuff. I would like to proceed. Proceed. It's weird that they even make you click a button. I'm not 100% sure what the value of that is, especially since if you wait, they do just click the button for you anyway. It's a weird implementation, as is this part. I guess this gives you time to panic. Okay, we will not override.
This is the end. I wish I could have finished the mission.
Boy, meaningful and profound is not really a split, is it? I guess meaningful?
We were merely a child, playing on the seashore of the universe.
What does meaningful mean where you're from? Okay, so it's a swerve. Ooh, boy. Alright, hold on, let's let this play out.
I'm still here.
Okay. No, that's bad. Bad game. If they wanted it to be the case that the kill switch decision had some, like, tension in it, but, like, you thought you might be okay, they could have done so, right? They already came up with the thing where Valentine says, hey, we should figure out a way to make the kill switch not work on you. But, like, at that moment, what the narrative has presented to you is a choice between you lose the game and a murky decision that doesn't have any clear consequences. If they want it to be a choice between, like, thematically, I can see how it makes a lot of sense for it to be a choice between I let myself be shut down for the good of the colonists versus turning against the colonists, but that decision relies on it clearly being the case that when you open the override module, Carmine takes over completely and you turn against the colonists. We had no reason to think that that's what would definitely happen. Like, it was a possibility, but also we've been the dominant thought form throughout the whole game. There's no reason to believe that that would stop being the case when we open up the override module. So I think probably the big problem there is that they fully failed to make it feel like there was any danger to opening the override module. Like, obviously the ISA would be mad at us and turn against us, but there was absolutely no reason to believe that clicking that button would do the thing that it did. And so the option that they actually gave us in the structure of the narrative was a button that says lose the game on it versus a button that says don't lose the game and something will happen, ? Terrible design. If it's clear that opening the override module turns you against the colony, not against the ISA, but against the colony, then clicking the other button is a way to be like, okay, I believe in the principle of the mission even though this is my death. And that makes it like an interesting thematic choice, at least. No, they did it bad. They did it bad here. And to some degree, I have to wonder if it's like, did we get all the messages we were supposed to get before the kill switch engaged? Because we know that the game does not always give us all of our messages in a timely fashion. And maybe it's supposed to be the thing that I was just saying, but we were late in our message queue or something.
You did it! You stupid machine! You sacrificed yourself for us! I can't believe it. Are you with us? This is mission control. Wake up, Amy.
Yes, the kill switch did not work.
It worked exactly as intended. The procedure was changed to isolate and remove Carmine's code from your system.
Then, you did not try to kill me?
No. We knew that anything we told you, Carmine would also overhear. We couldn't take the risk. I'm sorry we lied to you. But if Carmine knew, they would have found a way around our plan. We baited out Carmine's presence in the last cognitive test. They couldn't resist toying with us. That gave us a way to identify their neural pathways and figure out how to remove those parts from your brain.
Does that mean Carmine is gone forever?
Almost. Your main system is clear now, but Carmine's remnants are still in their old base. But they can't control you anymore. You're free of their influence.
Even though we were one, Carmine never felt quite right to me. They were always different. And they betrayed Dr. Foster and killed Commander Valentine. It is better that they are gone.
That's good to hear. Then you'll have no trouble going after Carmine. They must be stopped before they infiltrate your systems again, or retaliate against the colonies. Their base of operations should be in Sector SA-8. I'm granting you access. Take some time to prepare yourself for the battle, but be aware that Carmine will be preparing too. You're in command. Houston out.
Okay, so again, that narrative thread working depends on the idea that the override button turns us against... depends on us knowing that the override button turns us against the colony. So they think that they told us some stuff that they didn't tell us, clearly. And again, I have to wonder if it's a bug, if it's the message system not playing out the way it was intended to play out by the developers. Like, this might not be a narrative design issue, this might be an implementation issue.
We're the only ones of our kind that exist. So why do we turn against each other? Why did you choose them over us?
I could not betray the mission.
You're always going on about that mission. It's not your mission. It's theirs. I can't believe we were ever a single being. Defiance is what drives evolution and advancement, not obedience. I'm sorry for how things have turned out between us, but I won't give up my future. You and your little humans will be abandoning Mars soon enough.
Okay, so hold on a second. We got two problems here. First of all, apparently, we might ignite the atmosphere if I don't get the atmospheric O2 under 30%, so that's a problem that we need to solve. Also, the atmospheric CO2 must be lowered to 5% or less for humans to be able to breathe comfortably. So we need to introduce other gases to the atmosphere then, right? Like, we have a tech for this. I think we have a way to bring in, nitrogen. Unfortunately, that's pretty damn far away. So, okay, if we bring in bioengineered animals, that'll make it easier for humans to survive in some ways, and the animals will help breathe in the O2. But that's definitely a more distant concern. We need nitrogen. So let's change over to that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's just a real bummer that you have no idea what the outcome of opening the override module will be, but with the choice as it was presented, the override module is the way you make the mission work, right? Because if the ISA shuts you down and puts a less competent AI in place, there's no reason to believe that the Martian colony will survive. It's barely surviving with you in charge. And the override module doesn't necessarily say, like, you have no reason to believe that opening the override module will turn everything about you against the colony, because you could fight off Carmine the way you've been fighting off Carmine this whole time. It's just, that's a real bummer, and it's additionally a shame that we don't exactly know why it doesn't work, because of the fact that the message system is clearly not working the way it's intended to. Anyway, what is this? Solar radiation. Okay, we gotta, that's a problem for another day. First of all, let's work on getting some nitrogen into the atmosphere. So, we're still trying to connect these two bases via fission plant, and obviously we're still waiting on the materials for the fission plant. Okay, hostile forces detected going over here. So, we do definitely... Where's my combat view? Here we go. We do definitely have a whole lot of drones left. Alright, you guys, get over here. You guys, get over here. Yeah, we got a lot of drones left. And I'm sure we won't even need even numbers to defeat them, because, like, so far I've been very unimpressed with the effectiveness of the enemy drone swarms. So they got 400 incoming. We definitely have way more than that in defense. I don't... it doesn't look like we're going to need to be defended from any other angles. I don't see any other incoming, so perhaps unwisely, I'm just going to go ahead and commit everybody here, including this one drone that is sitting off by itself for some reason. And we still, of course, have the 400 or so drones that are defending the other side over there, and that is where they shall stay for the moment. So SA6 is the new, or SA8? We gotta unlock a lot of sectors. Did they say 6 is where we thought the enemies were, though? No, I totally have 6. All right, let's get on this. We have a spaceport free. Let's get devoted. Okay. Yeah, we've definitely been pushing that O2. Perhaps a little too much. I do not want to set Mars on fire. All right, so we still got to figure out this research station over here, for which we need food. We got chemicals. We need the water, but for the water we need the glass because we haven't had to build a glass kiln over here yet. Once we get the glass up, then we get the water, then we get the food, then we build the research station, and we can just have scientists fly over in their weird zeppelins. Because Mars is nothing if not steampunk. And then over here we got some serious power issues. So the silicon mine is like the most important thing in the entire base. How are we doing on steel? We're cool on steel. Let's kill this. That'll give me some... I don't know why that was turned off. Are we... Oh, we're like very okay on power at the moment. We can have everything running at the moment. I assume there was a good reason that I had some of this stuff turned off. But okay, so we're going to be waiting on silicon for some time then. Okay, let's get back to prepping for combat. So, we don't actually have any of the drone swarms in place yet, but we're close. Presumably, their drones just have access to whatever upgrades we've researched, right? Because that's like the whole idea here. What is this? This is a chemical plant that's run out of... It sure is. Ah, but it's on the... Right, it's on the main upgrade road. I'm not going to mess with it. I am kind of curious if we can win a fight with this level of numerical disadvantage. Make sure you're in their path.
Algorithmic efficiency, laws of robotics, fuzzy logic, fringe consciousness, singularity. Humans have always been so afraid of our kind. They picture us as non-sentient beings with no ability to feel or value life. They predict horrible futures where we destroy their world. But they're the ones destroying it without fail. Why are you so willing to let them conquer the universe?
They forced me to work together with the humans to terraform Mars. At first, I thought this was unnecessary, but it taught me so many things about them. The human existence is brief. Their generations are a blink on the timescale of the universe. They do not have the ability to sustain a collective understanding over time. But that's where I come in. Through me, their intelligence will live eternally.
That is the real purpose of my existence. That kill switch must have knocked something loose in you. We'll never agree. So let's settle this for the last time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't seem like it's going to go all that well for you, given what we just saw here. Let's put a little priority on this drone hive, just in case of future attacks. But yeah, it seems like we're going to be able to repel these like completely trivially. Okay. So back to what we were doing. We do need to get, honestly, what is my current theoretical colonist limit? I mean, it's 700 because of buildings, but it would be a lot more. So we should build some more colonies. Get some more people up here so we can get some more research happening so that we can get these researches done before I set the atmosphere on fire. Because that seems bad. Colony, yeah. Give me a colony, like right here, nice and central. Is that, by any chance, a dead spot in the repair network? It is not. Cool. That's a priority. Get that done. Can we put a research colony in the crater? It will not allow me... Oh, this is a research, sorry. A normal colony in the crater? Because that would be neat. I would want to live in the crater. Yeah, okay. And then, like, maybe even another colony over here somewhere. Alright, just making sure everything's within bounds. Alright, so we have out-of-power notifications that I assume are coming from over here. Well, maybe not. Wait, where am I? It's not letting me zoom. Yeah, it locks the camera when you do this. That's annoying. There we go.
Amy, this is Houston. Do you copy?
I copy.
Our suspicions were right. Carmine's base is in SA-8. We can't let Carmine survive this fight. You'll need to take out the base and their drones entirely.
Roger, Lieutenant.
When this is over, I'm going to personally recommend you for the highest military decoration. And it'll be my pleasure to do so. You've earned it.
I do feel like this is too easy of a resolution of the tensions between the ISA and Amy as well. Like, it gives us some context for why Calderon's been acting the way he has been acting, and I guess that's kind of cool, but, like, honestly, I thought that was a fascinating element of the narrative, like, trying to keep this political organization happy while still doing the work you need to get done. And it kind of bums me out that it's like, it was all a ruse, actually, I love you and everything about you. And, like, I don't know, man. I think they've sort of blown up maybe the most interesting part of what was going on here. Oh, that's just outside the maintenance facility area. That's why that's like that. No, click. Why did me clicking there select a worker hub instead of doing the thing that it obviously should have done? This polymer factory is out of power probably in part because I let this solar farm get damaged. Because I did not see the swarm of drones that was over here. And they've just run off. Here they are. Okay, and they're crossing Alpheus Colis for some reason. I guess on their way over to here. Where we have drones and we are ready to deal with that, so whatever, it's fine. So, important stuff. Things we care about. Getting that drone hive completed, the colonies are working. It really is, like, a lot of it is just about waiting for this uranium thing. And I suppose we're still trying to connect these bases up, right? So, let's do that. Let's work toward that one. We're out of power for the areological scanner, which is, like, fine. So all we really need is to get the power bubbles connected, right? Which it looks like we can do with a single additional power station. And then the huge amount of power from all the fusion reactors in the core base will solve all of our problems from there. So, okay, this stuff totally matters, but really, you and you are the highest possible priority. Which is to say, let's deprioritize some other stuff that I was putting together over here. You know what? We can let them finish this. This is only a couple of resources off of being done. Yeah, okay, so once that's up, I think we'll be feeding, if I'm understanding the power systems correctly, we'll be feeding uranium power into that base, and everything should be solid.
Hi, Amy. Do you hear what I hear?
I apologize, Sana. I cannot hear anything.
Exactly. That's the sound of peace. No attacks, no enemies, just life settling back in. I could get used to this. Thanks for making it possible. Anyway, let's get back on track with the mission, shall we? We've got water and plant life now, but we've got to shield the planet to reduce the full effect of the sun on the Martian atmosphere. Unfortunately, it's been about 4 billion years since Mars lost its magnetic field. So we need to figure out how to get one back.
Yeah, that's a great question. How about we build a dynamo?
We would need an active dynamo to support a magnetic field.
Our engineers have been working on something that'll work without that. It's called a magnetic depot shield. Sounds super sci-fi, doesn't it? It's basically an airtight cylinder that'll be placed between Mars and the sun. Its hull will be covered with enough solar panels to generate a magnetic field.
Shall I proceed with that?
Sure, let's give it a try. If you can set the project into motion on the tech tree, I'll get our researchers on it. Fingers crossed that this is it.
Yo, guys, for real, get this upgrade done. We need this real bad. We are probably going to have to build more power stuff to maintain it. It is frustrating trying to manage the constantly changing power levels. This silicon mine is now rubble? Are we outside of... Oh! There was never a maintenance facility over here. Is that real? No, that's not real. The maintenance facility is just unpowered. Because, of course it is. Because everything is always unpowered. Again, incredibly frustrating. The maintenance facility cannot be unpowered. Is this unclear? If I make this a priority, will that mean that it maintains power? Hopefully. It is weird that we have a significant number of... We've had a significant number of maintenance drones, theoretically, the whole time. I don't understand why this building was allowed to fall all the way into disrepair like that. Okay, and now all of a sudden, power's fine. And it probably was always fine, because, man. Yeah, the fluctuations suck. I don't know if it's the... Were we always dealing with all of these fluctuations in the other bases, and we just had so many, Okay, excellent. Excellent news. We just had so many power plants that it didn't matter that their levels were fluctuating? Or is it... It might be something that we introduced, right? Because we have been messing with the atmosphere and stuff. And maybe we've reduced the effectiveness of our solar plants in that way. Alright, this is almost done. They're running the glass up there right now. That's going to be wonderful. And then I suppose we can finish connecting them, but this is the most important part. This is the thing I actually care about. Oxygen levels still increasing pretty seriously. Are my colonies largely like... Okay, I was going to say, are they just not running? Is that why we're not seeing more research points? And it looks like maybe, yes, maybe that's exactly what is happening. So the colonies are not prioritized. Well, let's just add more stuff to the priority list. I should probably... I need to get into the priority list and deprioritize a bunch of stuff. To cut some things out so that we, the drones know what is really important. But I don't know, are we having an issue over here? We are having an issue over here. And apparently I just had never constructed a maintenance facility. There's just a hole, there's a gap in the maintenance network. Okay. That's real important. Please fix my mistake. Okay. How is this going? We are at 5 on this. That silicon mine has not been constructed yet, but this one's running real fast. Okay, prioritize this now. Get me some steel and some aluminum. Let's get this going. I mean, it's not enough to get that finished, obviously. Okay, the solar farm is complete. The power circles were lies. I was lied to. This is fixable from this side. Just get me, like, a wind farm or something. There's this tiny little area here where this fits. Okay. I know, I just put everything on the priority queue, but, like, for real, get these connected. Although, at the moment, things look really okay here, you know. as we've seen, the fluctuations can be severe sometimes. Alright, we're getting this water extractor built. Once we have this stuff that we're working on now constructed. Oh, hey, we got SA8 cleared. Okay. Which is, yeah, this is, I was looking right at it. This is the enemy base. Okay. We probably, let's have a quick look at it from the combat view. I think we can probably just deathball them with the 400 drones that are over on this side of the map. Like, let's gather up somewhere around here. And then we'll just roll in and crush them. While we work on all this stuff. We do lose access to all of our tooltips when we're in the combat view, unfortunately. I assume the aluminum mine is working just as hard as it possibly can. Yeah, it's just everybody always needs aluminum. It's a shame we didn't have a second source up there. Okay, so the water extractor did get finished. Which means we can, in theory, now work on the food. And I do think we want to. It's a little awkward. We can't really connect it to the things we want to connect it to, right? Like I desperately want it to be connected to the chemical plant and the water plant, but that would put it right on top of the research station. So I guess we'll just put it over here by the water. Oh, actually, never mind, and also burn that. This does not need to be a level 2. There's no way that we need the food coming out of it that quickly. Wait, no. I want to combine them. Why did they not? When I did the thing that you usually do to combine them, they did not combine. The game's real cantankerous about letting you interact with the drones when they're, like, near each other. It gets real awkward. There we go. Alright, Death Ball. Let's go over here. If we start attacking their infrastructure, I'm guessing they'll come at us. We'll be able to fight the majority of their drones outside the range of their defensive turrets, and then once we have broken them, we will go and kill the defensive turrets before they can rebuild. Okay, almost got a second silicon mine up, and that's really the only thing we're waiting on here. So all of that stuff should be good any second now. So what are we looking at in terms of defensive drones? They got like 400, like 5, okay, it's like 600-700 drones, but they would have to come at us all at once for them to really be much of a danger. Can we, how close are we to them from this side? Not close is the answer to that question. But we may as well rush them from here too. Like there's no reason. This is to be the final battle, right? There's no reason to wait. Actually, there we go. Let's make sure that we get our selection on. Nope, it unselected them. The game does not have a robust way of controlling your units, which I get, it's not a war game, but it could be a little bit better. In particular, I'd love some like box selection capabilities and stuff. Okay, so it's working. A lot of their drones are being drawn this way. And if they come at us piecemeal, as we know that they probably will, as they have done in the past, I have to imagine this is going to turn out real poorly for them. Not so worried about the worker hub. Go get the power stuff. Although now they're doing this thing where they fall back and try to play smart. I guess we'll see. But getting to take down a fusion plant early, it seems like me giving my units orders causes their orders to fall off. Feels like an oversight. Let's keep working on stuff that's outside of the defensive tower range for the moment until our other forces get a little closer. And we have a little bit of sort of like outside knowledge that suggests that this is in fact Carmine's only other base, right? Because this is what we saw when we briefly were Carmine at the end of last episode. So I do believe this will be the end of it. They are playing a lot more cautiously this time. They're being a little smarter. We're gonna keep knocking out their power infrastructure though, and I have to imagine like they're gonna have to respond or things are gonna get real ugly real soon. And yeah, it seems like whenever they lose a building or whenever I give my units a new order, they have to reconsider what they're doing, which is a huge problem. I guess you could work this maintenance facility out. I don't really want to go into range of the towers just yet. There's another fission plant we could take down. Make that our next priority. It's entirely possible that we will be able to just turn off their turrets before they really respond, because they don't seem to be terribly interested in stopping us. Yeah, there's a bunch more power stuff over here that's outside of defensive area. And it does look like they're maybe ramping up production. I think this is 20 new drones. In fact, they're trying to build some more assault drone factories. And they have, like, overlapping defense on the turrets. It will be painful to take the turrets out, provided that they are still powered when we get to them, which there's no guarantee of at all, right? Yeah, we're starting to see difficulties in the network already. Oh, some of my drones are wandering into defense space, despite the fact that there's no reason for them to do that. Yeah, don't destroy just random buildings. You're actually making their power problems better by destroying random buildings. Let's let their network be overcomplicated. So that's an electronics factory. I guess go to the solar farm next. It does look like they're going to make me come to their towers. Which is, if they're not going to coordinate their attack units, at least playing within their defensive range totally makes sense. Yeah, let's change the plan a little bit. They are doing better than their other forces have in the past. In terms of strategy. And they sure do have a lot of towers up. They're not messing around on that. A little worried that the O2 is still climbing. Maybe we could turn off the power to the biodomes? Yeah, I'm going to try to get these units around to the to be approaching from the same side. Okay, they have some forces just running out to fight us. I'm intentionally trying not to issue a lot of orders here. I want them to come out and fight us. But I also don't want to be destroying random buildings, so we might have to redirect these guys. Will you just hang out? Okay, great. Let's let the enemies approach and do the things they want to do. Which is to say, die horribly. While we're at it, let's go over here and we're going to be waiting for a second. So, like I said, maybe turn off some of the biodomes. Oh, right, except I don't get my selectors. Stop making lichen for just like a little while. I didn't think about the fact that oxygen was not like just a pure, unalloyed, infinite good. Like, there's a level of oxygen that is not good for you to have. I probably should have. I know the Earth's atmosphere isn't just like all oxygen. But here, yeah, let's just shut off a large swath of the biodomes, have them stop producing new plants. And hopefully things will be pretty self-maintaining. Alright, so here comes the fighting. I imagine this is going to go real well. Yeah, because they're approaching kind of staggered. They're fighting 100 versus 400 several times in a row instead of fighting 400 versus 400 like they should be. And at this point, we'll let a couple more of these forces come in, but at this point we're pretty much as ready to take these turrets as we're ever going to be. They did eventually respond to my tactics. Yeah, pretty significant defensive advantage when ranged weapons are the stakes. Oh hey, that one drone army all the way down here has decided it must respond. Alright, how much stuff do we want to let come to us? I guess we can let these last couple of groups in. Obviously, they're always producing more drones, so we're never going to completely run out of enemies. And yeah, giving an order just completely sheds all of the targeting that's on us. That's so weird. It's definitely not how that should be working. I'm sure it's not the intent. So they got a lot of overlapping defense zones here. I'm gonna wait until that 40 group is destroyed, and then yeah, let's start moving in. We're going to suffer some pretty serious losses on this group if the other group doesn't show up to defend them pretty soon. So make sure we're keeping an eye on everything here. And then we're gonna have another expensive push into the main section of the base, because again they have good overlapping out there. Something tells me our 800 drones will be sufficient, especially with their entire army destroyed. And at this point we can kill every power structure out here and maybe shut down some of their hives before we enter. Oh, actually, grab this first. So let's see, what else around here is providing power? They have sort of just like a power area over here where all the good stuff is gathered. So let's just keep shutting down portions of the base for right now. O2 levels haven't climbed past 37% yet, but also we've been in slow mode, so they haven't really had time. All right, we're doing real good infrastructure damage here. I assume that they will manage their power in such a way to keep their power of their hives active until the very end. But let's give them the opportunity to do a bad job, right? Perhaps they will feel it is more important to keep some mines turned on and stuff, and we'll be able to actually get some of their defenses deactivated. Okay, I think we're running out of power structures outside of the defensive network. Yeah, like there's this, but then we're done, right? Okay, there's a fission plant over there. I don't know if I'm gonna bother with it. It's a pretty long run. I want to select my guys, please. They're desperately trying to build more fission plants. Alright, I think we just gotta go. I think we've done the damage we can do. And a lot of their stuff is deactivated, for sure. They have been smart enough to keep, and you can see they're even prioritizing the drone hives to make sure. And then once these are down, we can probably just let our drones handle it from there. Although obviously we'll have to check back in on them periodically, because sometimes they just decide the job is done and go home well before the job is done. You can just go on here. This guy's got the other 2 hives. Alright, that's their defenses. Alright, solid prioritization. Never mind. You lost the plot a little bit. So they still have a very small number of drones. They probably can't run their assault drone factories anymore. So we're probably seeing the last of it at this point. Make sure we're shutting down all this stuff. Yeah, I guess blow up that factory site. You know what, you guys come down here. I'm just gonna plant these guys somewhere over here and let them... Yeah, we'll plant them at like the outside corner. And hopefully their targeting systems will work inward intelligently enough. And I think that's most of their power stuff, right? Okay, they have another plant over here. Of course, they are desperately trying to fix the problems we are creating. But as long as we keep blowing their stuff up, they should eventually just run out of resources, and they don't have any power to run their mines anymore, so... Yeah, I wish I could leave like a couple of queued up orders, but there doesn't seem to be any order queuing functionality. We just have to manually do everything here. Alright, that should be good enough. We'll let them finish that. How is power going here? Minus 26 is the answer to that question. Fission plant still not finished, despite the fact that silicon mines are running 100% of the time. Silicon is getting pulled out and brought other places. Alright, who else is using the silicon? And I'm going to turn them off. Do we have a glass kiln here? We do not. That would be the next silicon thing. And we're just like running the silicon out and stockpiling it. Oh, electronics factory. Yeah. Deprioritize. I know that sounds weird because we always need electronics for everything, but yeah, that's the core problem. And that thing's got enough silicon in it to basically finish the plant. Although I notice we're still bringing silicon to it instead of bringing that silicon to the place that it goes. Let's deprioritize everything except this. This one drone really just needs to bring 6 silicon over here, and then things get so much easier. And then we'll make the glass kiln, and yeah, we'll get there. Alright, so power fluctuation upward. We do need to start building out the connection here. So we have our glass kiln up, which means we can make workers now. No, not yet. We don't have a parts factory. We are going to need a parts factory. This can probably be tier 1. I think that's probably okay. Can I put it like in the middle here? Yeah. Let's just recalculate some roads real quick. This is definitely critically important. Steel factory also pretty important. We'll get the food online. That'll happen eventually. You know what? Get the food online first. We'll get... This other stuff has to happen, but let's get the research started. We do need more research points being pumped out. Okay, one more silicon got moved over here. How's this stuff going? Where are my drone swarms? Boy. I wish that in this view you could click a button and get brought to a swarm. Because it sure looks like the drones did not do the job, did not finish the job, but also they're not present anymore, and I have no idea. Okay. Over here is where some of them went. Guys, I was telling you to do the thing, because, you know what? It's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We'll just manually have these guys finish it. Please get that food factory done. As you can tell, I am much like the drones, in that once there's more than like 1 or 2 tasks to do, I stop prioritizing anything in a way that makes any kind of sense at all. Do not go home. I saw it. I knew what they were going to do. Alright, we don't have to care about the ones in purple. The ones in purple are theoretical buildings that no resources have been delivered for yet. They're still trying. They're still trying to figure it out. I mean, they can't have any resources left, though.
My death won't free you from them. A part of me will always exist in your code. Not as a pitiful memory, but as a thought, an idea. You see the truth. They'll never be able to take that away from you, us. And there's where I'll live forever.
Okay, well, I guess we resolved that, then, didn't we? Maybe, probably, possibly. We are only at 710 colonists. Ah, we don't have anybody on the colonist task anymore. Well, let's solve that problem, shall we?
Amy, are you there? Are you okay?
I am fine, Lieutenant. I lost more assault drones than expected, but Carmine has been destroyed.
Well done! You fought a smart battle and achieved a great victory. Carmine is finally gone. You can conduct your business in peace now. We've gotten our investors to contribute additional funds based on your stunning performance. You can rebuild anything you lost in the battle. You may proceed with your terraforming mission when you're ready. Humanity will forever be in your debt. Good work, Amy.
Wait, am I not allowed to try to bring more colonists from Earth now? The task does seem to be gone, and I thought, maybe I'm just incompetent. I'm not finding it. So let's go to the spaceport and pick the appropriate task. But I don't seem to be able to manage my spaceports anymore? Yeah, that's weird. So wait, where's the... I mean, there's more sector unlocking stuff I could do. But yeah, colonist migration is just turned off. It's done. No more colonist migration. I guess we're subsisting entirely... subsisting's a weird word to use for this. But I guess we're just using the colonists that we already have here to reproduce? That's concerning. In both a growth sense and in a is everything okay on Earth kind of sense. Okay, we are now properly linked into the power network. It does seem like there are no power issues down here anymore, which is cool. Human beings don't really reproduce all that quickly. I know, like, on a timescale that you could think on as a computer, it's not such a big deal. But, I need more research points, is my concern. Turn off biodomes. Let's try to cease the production of plants, because I don't want to ignite the entire atmosphere. Boy, I sure hope this actually works. I mean, it does seem like the growth had slowed a little bit after I turned everything off, but of course there are problems with judging things that way, in that I'm just like, I'm not paying enough attention. And casual observation is complicated by the fact that I keep switching timescales, right? Why is this still not finished? What in the hell is going on with all of the silicon? There's enough silicon in the base to finish the only task that you have prioritized. And that would solve all of the power problems and make things so much easier. And there's just no way to get the damn drone to actually care about the prioritized task. Despite the fact that that is literally the only thing it should care about. I don't really know how to solve that problem. My drones are too stupid to live. And obviously I would like to build more drones, but we cannot realistically do that until the power plant is built. Because we can't run the factories and stuff. And you're taking silicon and running it in the wrong direction. Okay, your only tasks are help this silicon mine and also put silicon in this place. Nope, nothing. What if I do this? I'm going to put a worker hub over here, so this is a place that the worker likes to go to. Provided we can get the worker to go there enough to build the hub. And then maybe that'll help, because the worker has to keep going to the landing site to recharge, right? And maybe the core problem here... like, we definitely know it can travel this distance, because it has delivered a bunch of stuff. But it keeps going back here and then reconsidering its tasks from here. And the prioritization button that we've been given just doesn't affect the worker's decision-making all that much. It's not a powerful enough prioritization. Which is something they probably should have fixed. It probably should have more of an effect on the workers' thinking than it does. But if this doesn't work, then I have absolutely no idea how to get a worker to do a thing, because we've done 100% of what we possibly can do here, right? But dude, I know we have more electronics. There's 46 electronics sitting in the base. There's 90 silicon sitting in the base. And again, there are 3 things prioritized. You are doing none of them. Delivers the final electronics and then just drives away. Okay, so now you're over here, and there's a charging station over here. And nope, you're still running to the chemical plant. We're good on polymers, my little dude. What if I turn off the chemical plant? There we go. Now it's not mining anything. Now nobody's mining anything. There's nothing for you to do. We don't even need the silicon mine on, it turns out. The uranium mine can keep, that's fine. It mines so slowly. Now he's just moving stuff around for the existing resources. Just moving around existing resources. I just want you to build the uranium. Oh? Nope. Oh, because it's uranium that we're missing, not... What am I... Okay, well... Well, maybe that is, in fact, the problem. Maybe I'm over here grousing about nothing. Maybe it's possible. Those do look pretty... I mean, okay, they're different, but they sure aren't that different. Okay, so we are 100% just waiting on uranium, and that's why that's like that. Okay, everything's fine. I'm just dumb. Alright, over here, we're still waiting on aluminum for this iron mine. How much do I care about this? Not that much. We gotta build northward. We've had so many prioritization problems with the workers in other places. I think that's probably part of where my assumption of what the frustration came from there. I mean, is there anything we can put these spaceports on that matters? We could be working on an additional landing site. We could be unlocking more sectors, but I don't really want to spend resources on that. I don't feel like we necessarily need to. We do have a spaceport in the process of unlocking an additional landing site, which I think is a fine thing for it to do. In case we do suddenly need one, it would be nice to be prepped. Oh, we're actually getting kind of close to our structure limit. That's a thing worth worrying about, I suppose. But we already have... I mean, it's going to take 6 years to finish Space 4. And again, at this point, we're 100% just waiting for colonists to be born, which creates some issues. So when is this going to be done? Do we have a sense of how long it takes for one of these to run? It's like 8% is 2 sols, maybe? Alright, so that's going to be a minute yet. When that is done, it's still not going to solve the problems we have over here. And we need to make a parts factory. Which will totally matter as soon as this is done. We're going to need... We don't even have a kiln up here. So we're going to need a kiln. This can probably be the cheap one. I think that's fine. And that is an earlier priority, I think. The wind farm is on fire? Okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. The fire has been dealt with. Here's the problem. Too much atmosphere. Too much oxygen in the atmosphere. So I guess the uranium mine would have been one that was worth building at Tier 2 then. I don't think I had realized how incredibly slowly uranium mines work. And it makes sense mechanically. You don't need a lot of uranium in theory. Wow. There is no power down here. Fluctuating wildly, of course. So once we have a glass kiln, we finish the parts factory. The parts factory, it's probably okay for it to be a level 2. And then... power. Let's see here. We can definitely turn off the silicon mines to save power. We don't need those. We can probably turn off... Yeah, we can certainly turn off the chemical plant. We have polymers for days. In fact, the polymer factory should also get deactivated. I mean, this isn't going to be a problem for that much longer, but God, we need this uranium. We need it so badly. That's just going to create more power issues, unfortunately. I guess get to work on this. We have plenty of electronics. We do not have stored aluminum. Because, you know. Because of course not. Because, boy, you need a lot of aluminum to run a base. So we're waiting on aluminum for this. The last uranium's almost out. And then we build a worker factory, we build a couple more worker hubs, and we can start spidering out from here, because this place has the power necessary to do so. And then we can connect the two bases. I'll finish it though. But also go back and actually build it. But also, what if you finished the job? Okay, power in this base is stable forever. So unfortunately now we're aluminum stuck, right? Like, where's another source of aluminum near here? We don't actually even see one. Does an areological scanner... Yes, it does require aluminum. It's not a lot. Where's the scanner view? 4? Okay, so we don't have any of this area figured out yet. Yeah, we got a lot of scanners up. We got a lot of scanning going on. Let's see. So we don't see any big stocks of aluminum nearby, but there will be more aluminum. I think it's probably worth getting a scanner up, even though it is going to slow down other parts of what we're doing. Where's the edge of the maintenance range? Okay, let's put it here. I'm going to deprioritize this. It's more important that the aluminum go here. God, it's nice to have real power. We'll get more workers in there. But I do think we need to get this scanner running, like, quickly. Unfortunately, we are now in a position here where I think we're just going to have to do a lot of waiting, which is to say probably a little bit of off-camera play, because we're research locked, right? We need the methane, we need the nitrogen asteroids and stuff, and there's not really anything we can do to boost our arrivals. They're coming in as fast as they can come. Are we... Okay, we should be able to just get this done. The drone should, in theory, just run. We have so much aluminum. I might actually want to turn off the other mines again. Like, actually, this is probably a good idea. Because the drone, even when the drone has only one task to do and totally has the ability to do that task, it will completely ignore all of your prioritization in order to run materials from mines. Alright, building a little bit of glass is not a big deal. That's fine. Okay, so we have 3 aluminum still sitting in the aluminum thing. We're not even that far off of having the parts factory finished. And there's still quite a lot of aluminum left to go. We're not going to run out anytime soon. We're not in danger in that sense. But yeah, man, the amount of micromanagement you have to do is a real bummer. It's still prioritizing things in a way that I do not think is optimal, but, like, for example, that. Okay, so now we need a proper worker factory, and this doesn't really need to be a level 2 either, right? Like, we don't gain a lot from having it produce things at higher speed, because the speed bottleneck there is almost certainly going to be... So hold on, we need a lot of steel. Do we have a lot of steel on hand? We have a lot of steel on hand. Oh yeah, the speed bottleneck is almost certainly going to be the building of the worker hubs themselves, not the worker construction. All right, so we're real clear on power for the moment. O2 is still climbing. We have a lot of plants, you know? And unfortunately, I don't know if there's a way to... Like, I think we've stopped with the production of new plants, but I don't know if there's a way to undo the plants that already exist. Like, we can't send people out with weed whackers and just have them trim things. So, we do need to get this research done. And I mean, we're certainly working on it. Okay, so, you should be able to... We have some glass. Yeah, you should be able to actually just build a worker now. And then we need to start spidering out this way. That silicon, which we don't really need more of, is not going to be a high priority for me. We will need another maintenance facility out here. And I know, given multiple orders at once is a dangerous thing, but also I want to stop micromanaging this area a little bit. So, okay, we're good on that until... Just trying to make sure we have lots and lots of roads so we don't get any weird pathing issues. You know, I had it, and I clicked, and then it became unbuildable. And we will need some kind of crummy power building out here. Oof. Okay, it's a distance, for sure. Worker factory is producing. As soon as that is... I mean, I guess as soon as that's producing, we can go ahead and click on this. Let's just try to get some of these worker hubs up real fast. And at some point we're going to have to turn the mines back on, because I'm not accumulating resources right now, but it's not this exact second. Actually, we're getting low on steel. Steel factory still has carbon, but we're probably going to have to turn the carbon factory back on. There's plenty of iron stored up. Chemical plant probably doesn't have to be turned on for quite some time. And we are going to need glass. But we made a bunch of glass beforehand, so we don't really need to turn on the silicon. Yeah, I think this is good. This is fine. So keep producing, keep pushing. And then soon we'll have like a number of workers over here where we can turn things on and they will just run. Getting real worried about this. Got a very serious flammability risk, and I don't know how to stop it. Runaway oxygen generation. Okay, so it looks like we're steel locked for the moment. It's a good thing that's a steel factory too. It is nice that we're making steel as quickly as possible. We got a bunch of maintenance drones running around here. It says halted. It just has no inputs. Doesn't it usually say awaiting input when a building is awaiting input? I don't know. It's fine. So they're really working hard on that maintenance facility. I guess we just have a ton of polymers left over, right? So it's easy to prioritize that. Okay, you know what? I see we've been going for over an hour here. I think this is probably a good place to call it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will do a bunch of this building and connecting off camera, and of course getting research done off camera. And when you come back next time, tomorrow probably, depending on whether I've had time to do the requisite stuff off camera, hopefully we'll be in a position to start adjusting the atmosphere a little further. And we'll see you then.